Have you ever wondered who was actually winning between Trump and Biden in a unbiased way where the news isn't going to distort the actual data in the proven ways that you can manipulate it, or the proven ways in which there are errors and biases in the way the framing of the question is, in the sampling methodology and how it's actually taken. Think of like a telephone or fucking mail-in shit, or even if it's done over the web, how is it done? Because you're going to target a certain type of audience. We know those are full of fucking issues. Just look at 2016. Well, let me give you a little secret here. The way to tell is actually pay attention to what people are doing. Let me say that again. In 2020, you can actually see what people are doing on the web. We did that in this video. So, with that being said, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you returning, it's good to break and see you. Okay, so this poll came out on June 17th, which was about 10, 12 days ago or so. And this shows that if the 2020 election were held today, would you vote for Trump or Biden? And Biden leads by about 13 points, according to this poll. This is from Reuters and IPSOS. They probably do research and polling and stuff. Now, they show that Biden's leading by a large margin here, but is that truth? Because we know how media works. There's a distortion or propaganda that's put forth. I don't give a shit if you're left or you're right, or it doesn't matter to what it is. It's coming forth on both sides. But what if you had the tools to just go look for yourself? Well, that's what we did here. There's two websites. One of them is called Alexa.com, and the other one is called SimilarWeb.com. And what these two websites do, they're data analytics for web optimization and doing other types of research and stuff. And they rank websites around the world based upon a bunch of different factors in terms of traffic and engagement and all the stuff that happens. So we get to look at all the data from two companies that just do this for all companies, right? And the two factors we looked at on Alexa were first the ranking for Joe Biden and Donald Trump in the United States, how their site ranks out of all the other sites that are ranked, right? So we can see here, this is for Trump. This is 1195th out of all sites in the US, so pretty high. And then up here, this is the global ranking here. But with the global, because it's way more cloudy, it's not as important because it has the global presence on it. This is relative to all the other websites in the globe, I should say, to clarify that. We wanted to see just the growth in this one. So we just took the delta between where they are today and where they were to understand the growth in that on a global basis. And then on SimilarWeb, we looked at, again, the ranking inside the United States, as well as their total website visitors. Right? This is the total for the month of May. So 3.2 million visitors to Joe Biden's website. And we wanted to get an actual understanding, not based upon some survey, which we know there's biases in, right? Just look at 2016. You can just go back and Google a bunch of articles on that and read that yourself. We already know there's a lot of issues. That doesn't even take into consideration, that's from a statistics side. That doesn't take into consideration the biases up here of the individuals who are doing it one way or the other. So we took a look at the data, and this is what we've got here. So if you pull out this a little bit, we can see that the US ranking for Alexa, Joe Biden is about half as popular as Trump. Not quite, but about half as much, right? We got 1195 versus 2287. The ranking improvement over the past 90 days on a global basis. So this was a little bit more cloudy, but Biden is winning here. He's actually growing faster in terms of the spots he moved up in. But let's for a moment go back here and just show you for reference. We've got 10,000 current ranking for Trump's site versus Joe Biden 18,000, right? So a decent sized delta there between between those two. And if we look at the graph, we can see steady growth, and the growth actually picks up, right? And it's continuing to pick up, right? Here we see steady, like quick growth, and then just steady growth. There's like continued growth. But then around the 31st of May, he must have said something unintelligent or did something stupid, and this dropped off because there was a big drop off in the traffic associated with his website. It has started to pick back up, but I don't know where we're going to go. It does look like there's a flattening out slightly across the top here, but I think it looks like that on Trump's too. A little bit of a flattening out, so that's why I didn't mention it there, because they both appear to be flattening out right now on those things, which is kind of interesting. So they're both growing substantially over the last 90 days on a global basis. Now on SimilarWeb, similar story, but now it's 3 times more popular, right? So it depends on which data source you choose to believe, just like if you choose to watch the media. I don't own a TV and I don't consume any news media because, in my opinion, it is just a complete farce. There's no actual agenda to put forth the truth in what they do. I don't care if it's left or right. It doesn't matter to me. There's not a North Star that is trying to be objective without an opinion on it, so that people can actually see the data. I don't see that anywhere, so I choose not to consume any media. I stopped owning a TV in 2009. But here we get to see that Trump's site is about 3 times more popular. Again, this is in terms of the data, like in terms of how many people are going to each person's site. We have about 4 times more people going to Trump's site. So let me, for a moment here, break this down for you. In a recap, pretty much every area except for on the global ranking, Trump is substantially beating Biden. Still early on in the game, so make sure you press that subscribe button. I did just do a video on the search volume on Google and YouTube, so if you want to check that video out, go back to the channel, watch that video, because that's also very telling as well. But this gives us an indication of where people are going. Now, this can build into something a lot more substantial, because somebody who knows anything about marketing online in 2020, if you have that much more traffic, think even if just 1% or 0.5% or 0.25% or 10 basis points convert to capturing emails to market and tell your message or get donations. If you hold the conversion consistent across both of these, right? But you would think if somebody has so much more traffic, they would probably be able to test more things more quickly and get better, faster, just because there's so much more traffic. But it's up here that whoever's running the show on the background of their websites is going to have to do that. So we would assume that we'll just hold it constant for both of those. And if it's a 1% conversion and you have both of them convert, right? But one side is 4 times larger. That allows you to get your message across to more people. That allows you to spread your message more and try more things, as well as raise more money. I'd like to know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. I'm going to be doing these every single week. So if you do have any comments, leave them with hashtag Stolt, and then I can check it out so it'll be easier to find. Also, you can jump over to Instagram, a link down below, and say what's good over there. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the truth, like what people are actually doing in the United States, right? Like how is the actual behavior of human beings when somebody is not asking them a question or telling them to fill out a survey, right? Without all the other biases that we know are there. When those are all taken away, what is somebody's actual behavior? I like to think of it as like your boss is sitting over your shoulder. How is your behavior, right? Because your fear of judgment from your boss, right? You're like, I'm going to vote for Biden, right? Because your fear your boss is going to judge you for saying Trump, or vice versa. And when your boss is gone, that's what we want to look at, because that's the truest form of what is happening right now. And we can see exactly how that is playing out in the data pretty substantially. So this will be interesting to track over time. Don't forget to press that subscribe button and that bell notification. And if you found any value in this video, share this video with somebody so we can spread the message and get the truth out there, not necessarily in terms of saying that one is right and the other is wrong. It's just, we don't need the media to put a spin on anything that comes out just to increase clicks, just to increase the amount of money they make. We want to know the actual truth of the data. And I think when you go to the source, you're going to have the best answers possible. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.